Ever get that feel? You're like totally sure you're on the same page as your partner. Then, bam, you get the look.
Oh, I know that look.
Yeah, the one that sends chills down your spine. You wonder what you said wrong this time.
It happens to the best of us, right?
Absolutely. Turns out we all struggle with really understanding our partner's emotional needs sometimes. It's like learning a whole new language.
It really is. There are all these nuances and subtleties.
So today we're doing a deep dive on this. We found this piece with 5 tips to decode what your partner really means. It's all about cracking that emotional code.
Decoding those feelings, I like that.
So tip number 1, and I will admit this one sounds a little obvious when you first hear it, ask open-ended questions.
Yeah.
Go a little deeper than just, how was your day?
Right, because fine doesn't really tell us much, does it?
Exactly. So what's the point of open-ended questions? Why are they so important in a relationship?
Well, studies actually show that couples who have these types of conversations regularly are more likely to feel connected and satisfied in their relationships. And it makes sense, right? It's not just about knowing the facts of their day, but understanding the feeling behind it. So instead of saying, how was work? Maybe you try, what was the most rewarding part of your day? Or even, what was the biggest challenge you faced today? You're inviting a deeper conversation.
I love that, asking about their challenges. Okay, next up is active listening.
The real art of communication.
So true. It's so easy to think we're listening when really we're just waiting for our turn to talk or, let's be honest, scrolling on our phones.
Been there.
Mm.
But really tuning in, putting the phone down, making eye contact,
Mm.
that shows your partner you're present with them. And it goes beyond just hearing the words. Active listening is about reflecting those feelings back. So let's say your partner is telling you about this stressful situation at work.
Oh, I know this one.
Instead of just saying, oh, no, that's rough, you could try something like, wow, that sounds incredibly frustrating. I can totally see why you're feeling stressed.
It's like you're proving that you actually get it, not just brushing it off.
Exactly. And that validation, it can make your partner feel heard and understood.
And speaking of validation, the next tip is all about acknowledging our partner's feelings. And this is the important part, even if we don't agree with them.
Ah, yes. This one can be tricky.
It can, because sometimes you want to jump in with solutions or tell them why they shouldn't feel that way.
Of course. But remember, it's not about changing their mind. It's about creating a safe space for them to be vulnerable. Just a simple, it makes sense that you feel that way, can go a long way.
Yeah.
It builds trust and emotional intimacy.
You're not dismissing their feelings, even if you see it differently.
Exactly. You're validating their experience.
Okay, the next tip is about regular check-ins, which, okay, might sound kind of obvious at first.
Sure, like how was your day type of thing.
Right, but it's about going deeper than the surface level.
Think of it as a relationship ritual. Instead of waiting for a problem to pop up, you're being proactive. Maybe it's as simple as taking 5 minutes before bed to chat about your day, what went well, what didn't. Or maybe you plan a monthly relationship check-in to discuss any issues or concerns that have come up. It's like tending to a garden. You got to nurture it consistently, not just when it's wilting.
I love that analogy. Okay, final tip, and I think this one is super important. Patience.
Patience.
Yeah.
The cornerstone of any strong relationship.
Because not everyone expresses their emotions at the drop of a hat.
Exactly. We all process things differently. Some people might need time to unpack their feelings before they're ready to share. And that's okay. Rushing them will only make them shut down. By being patient, creating that judgment-free zone where your partner feels safe to open up on their own time, that's how you build true intimacy.
So as you navigate the, let's be honest, sometimes tricky, always interesting world of relationships, remember that listening is key. And I don't just mean hearing the words, but really tuning into those unspoken feelings.
Absolutely. Because sometimes what's not said speaks volumes.
It really does. So here's something to think about today. What's one small step you can take, maybe trying one of these tips, to really understand your partner's emotional needs and deepen your connection?
Because a little effort goes a long way.
It really does.